Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Andrea Silvestro. I'm back with another reaction video. Feel free to check out my music. I'm a singer and musician, and I have my own music I'm working on currently, and you can check me out, links below. And I also have a Patreon if you want to support me on that. And today we are here to react to Tom Walker's Burn official lyric video. I'm very excited to listen to this. I've heard he's a very good vocalist, and let's get on with the video right now.
I watch as my world's going up in flames. Through the black smoke I can see your face. Embers they rain as the walls come down. Where do we go when the lights go out? I gave you my blood, my sweat, my tears, and all you ever did was leave me here.
Oh, we're building in a way that I did not expect. I wanted to kind of highlight so far what we're seeing with this is, you're seeing the classic production build, and I wanted to really quickly listen to his voice again at the beginning, because there was like a big shift in how he was vocally approaching his own song. But let's go back. I really wanted to like kind of highlight part of the production.
Your face.
Even that I love that it's very, very simple but very pretty. Let's continue.
Embers they rain as the walls come down.
You hear that down, 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 that delay that's causing, you hear the extra down, down, down. That delay just kind of, I feel, builds a track in a way that I think makes it more interesting, and also kind of gives that more echo atmospheric feel, which I do like. The very beginning of this song feels very minimal, so I love to see it build into something that's really powerful at the end. Since the song is called Burn, I am expecting some intensity, but let's continue on.
Where do we go when the lights go out? I gave you my blood, my sweat, my tears, and all you ever did was leave me here. Set me on fire 'cause you love the hurt.
So intense with the background choir. Oh my gosh. And like the texture in his voice like shifts here. I feel like it sounds a little bit more raspy, and it also sounds more desperate, like in the sense of just very emotional, very emotionally intense. Just because it's not cracking, but you can hear it's kind of more, raspy, as I mentioned before. But because of that, I feel like it brings a lot of emotion, and I usually like that kind of extra texture that adds to a vocalist, because you could belt, you could be like, set me up. Wait, hold on, let's go back.
And all you ever did was leave me here.
And all you ever did was leave me here. It's very clean, but like a little bit of vibrato. But he's bringing like that little like rasp and growliness that I really like. And I can't really sing like that. I was trying to impersonate it, but I can't. And all you ever did. It just makes it less clean, but in a way that I do enjoy. And it sounds very controlled, because there's some times where that kind of sound can be hard to do in a way that's not damaging your vocal cords, because if you're forcing it and you don't really know how to control that part of your voice, it can cause damage. But you can tell like it's very controlled in this version.
Set me on fire 'cause you love the hurt. Set me on fire just to watch me on my knees. My heart it bleeds while you pour gasoline all over me. Set me on fire 'cause you love the hurt. Set me on fire just to watch me.
Oh my goodness, I did not expect it to be like that electronic musical breakdown right there, but I did enjoy that. I think that's my favorite part of the song. Honestly, when you think about the production, the choir does really add so much to it in that moment. Like if that was without the choir, it wouldn't have built in the same way production wise. So let's continue.
Set me on fire 'cause you love the hurt. Set me on fire just to watch me.
Yeah, like as I mentioned, like that extra texture in his voice really does make that burn really that more haunting and powerful. Like if you were just to sing burn, watch me burn, 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 burn. It's not as gripping. Like I feel like he is singing this with such intention and it's very gripping as a listener. Continuing.
What would you do if you lost control? How would you feel if your dreams were sold? With both your hands tied and your taped out mouth. You gotta live real or feeling
Ooh, we heard that, right? That change in texture. Love that. That change in kind of just tone and the way that he's attacking the song. It's just like a very visible switch, but I do like both. I think just both, achieve a certain goal, achieve a different goal. I think that without that intensity that we've been talking about, I don't think that it would sell the song as much as it is. Because if it's burned, like you don't want it to sound super clean, like you want it to kind of personify fire in a way. And I feel like that is what I'm getting from the way that he's approaching this vocally. But I think that the background is really funny. How it's like you hear this instrument do 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 do. It's just funny, like hearing all these different sounds that people use in electronic music. It's just interesting to see how these random little instruments can be used to actually create such tension and, create an entire track like this. But continuing. Oh, so good. And that classically, that bend on that last note, that kind of just is building in pitch and also it's building in just volume. Now he's just going higher, making it more full by crescendoing. We love that. We see that, I feel like, a lot on music because it kind of builds it into the next chorus because it's building into the chorus, building the intensity up and leading to that fiery burn-in chorus. But let's continue.
I gave you my blood, my sweat, my tears, and all you ever did was leave me here. Set me on fire, cause you love the hurt. Set me on fire just to watch me on my knees. My heart, it bleeds while you pour gasoline all over me. Set me on fire, cause you love the hurt. Set me on fire just to watch me burn.
It's so intense. Like before he says burn, you can hear this.
Just to watch me.
It sounds like really haunted church bells in my eyes. Like when I'm thinking about it, it kind of sounds like a horror movie in a little bit. Like that downbeat, which leads into the burn. Ooh. And that's just how we ended off. That was like 2 minutes of intensity. Jeez. I think that I wanted to go back and kind of relive part of that. I think something that's really important to the production of the song is just how it builds in general, how it kind of starts off very tame. And I would say that as we listen to it more, like that more fiery tone that we're getting throughout really builds the track and I think pushes the whole story of the song forward. The choir, I think, does add a really important element as well, just to build, intensity and also make the sound just a lot more full. Because if it was just him singing those moments, I don't think they would be as powerful because it does, like when you have a choir behind you, it definitely makes it a deeper mix in my personal opinion because it kind of feels like you're surrounded by vocal lines and you're surrounded by like that intense vocal accompaniment, and I think it definitely adds a lot. So I really like how that was used to build the track, etc. I loved the little random electronic instruments that we got throughout, and I wasn't expecting to be as electronic bass as we had it be. I did like that element. I just didn't expect it, especially based off how we started the song. I thought there was going to be like a little bit more, I don't know, like more instruments versus, you know, intense electronic music, but, you know, not a bad thing. Let's go back. I really love his tone as well. I think that I like that he has, you know, a lot of depth to how he is approaching the song. I like how there's so many different parts of his voice that we hear, and I think he's a very solid vocalist as well. And I like this kind of tone a lot because I think it adds a lot of, you know, texture to the song. And as I mentioned previously, I think with this kind of title and having it be called Burn, I would expect it to be more intense, and I'm glad that he delivered it in that way. Let's go back and listen to a little bit, and then I'll get my final thoughts.
Set me on fire 'cause you love the hurt. Set me on fire just to watch me on my knees. My heart, it bleeds while you pour gasoline all over me. Set me on fire 'cause you love the hurt.
See, the choir, as I mentioned, it kind of sounds like movie music when they have the choir in the back. And imagine if it wasn't there, it would really feel, I feel like it would feel very empty as a track. So I think that they knew how to, you know, make the track interesting while also not sensory overloading us. I think it's pretty tastefully done. I think it's smart. I think it's well produced as well. Everything sounds very balanced, and I think that they knew where to leave space and where not to. Like in the sense of, at the very beginning, there was a lot more space and room for it to grow. But then when we have the choir, I feel like it's tastefully in there. The way that it was mixed, I feel like it sounds more full, but not too busy. And I also like how they have moments without the choir when he gets more intense. So it allows his voice to shine very much so, especially when he's saying Burn, which is the name of the song. As well as I do appreciate that, you know, like the electronic beats behind it are also not constantly throughout the song, like they're scattered around, so it's not just, I feel like you aren't getting bored of the same sounds over and over. But we'll continue.
Set me on fire 'cause you love the hurt. Set me on fire just to watch me burn.
Okay, Tom Walker, I see you as a vocalist. What a strong performance. I think that my closing thoughts are, I think it was a very strong song. I really like how they also made it sound very atmospheric as well, with kind of the fire sounds at the very end, like burn. It feels like we're at a campfire in a way, or that there's fire around us. And I think that really brings you more into the song. And I think it just makes sense from a production standpoint to kind of give that feel overall. I think that Tom Walker has a great voice, as I mentioned previously. I do enjoy that texture in it. I think it makes it sound more interesting. If you have any more Tom Walker I should watch, I would love to. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe.
And this city's never had something for me, as you know from all of my stories.